This is the July 13 reading of Blossom Goodchild's Channeling with the Federation of Light.
Well, here we are once again. Life with its topsy-turvy twists and turns continues to flow, and we must trust that although it doesn't look like it, it is all going in the right direction.
Welcome, Blossom. Welcome to each soul who, like us, look forward to these conversations and the comfort and sometimes confusion they bring.
Why do you say confusion?
Because we are aware that at times there is confusion of mind as to what is and what is not. For although some feel we talk in riddles, we do not. We simply express in a fashion that allows each soul to interpret for themselves that which we are offering. Some are able to look deeper into our presentation than others, whilst some receive the love and trust on a, would we say, simpler frequency. We are aware you would like to talk about the monoliths.
Yes, please, if it suits, for quite a few are inquiring as to an update on them.
All are now in place, yet none are to be activated at this time. They shall remain dormant until the signal is given, at which point they shall come alive and do their thing.
Which is...
They will send tones and signals to one another across your globe and out to other sources like themselves that are not on your planet. The connections between them, each one, shall we say, would be in comparison to a conversation. As you can imagine, it is a complex matter that cannot be completely understood on the human brain's capacity level at this time. Extremely advanced scientists will not be able to keep up with the signals and communications between them, for their codings are not from this world.
And what is their purpose?
To activate many ley lines, portals, vast dormant crystals that lie beneath your soil. To activate within the human mind codes that were set, given, long before your presence on Earth.
Whoa, so one step at a time. Ley lines?
We understand that you, personally, Blossom, are not au fait with such phenomena. Yet you and many know they exist. They are a matrix that runs throughout your Earth's patterns. We would describe them like a rabbit warren, for although there is structure to these patterns, there are also many threads, billions, that are connected throughout, yet all receiving the same messages and codes from Source.
So are you saying that the activation of ley lines will come from the monolith signals that originally come from Source?
Yes, indeed. For everything does.
What is the purpose of the ley lines activation?
They will magnetically charge the very ground that you walk upon. Imagine a matrix that runs throughout your globe, as if, when activated, the main centers, such as the places you know as Uluru, Stonehenge, and 5 others, will be the starter points for this charge, to then spread throughout the intricate complex threads so that there is not one piece of land that is not encompassed by it.
What happens then?
It is part of the show. It is necessary for this magnetism to be underway in order for the rest of the process to take place and to be completed.
And that process is...
We will move on to the portals and crystals, for it is part of the connection of all these things mentioned. Imagine the enormity of this charge throughout your globe. Not just a small place in one country, yet everywhere. Think of all these threads lighting up and spreading throughout. Think of the power created, unimagined, unimaginable. This, then, firstly powers up the giant crystals that, as we say, have lain dormant for millennia.
Who placed them there?
Off-planet beings, in the knowing of the future. which is now the present, in the knowing of the major event that is to occur.
What do the crystals do?
Once they have been awoken, activated through the magnetic forces, they will literally glow with life.
It's all very much like a movie that I have not seen yet.
Yet images presented by artists, etc., in preparation, visions they have been given. The energy that is contained within these crystals is also beyond compare.
How many crystals are there?
6.
Is that all?
Blossom. No more are necessary.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. I'm almost dribbling with excitement. What happens next?
The power from the crystals, aligned with the ley lines and threads, then take a while to tune into the system, and when complete, they are able to activate 7 portals.
That do what?
Open up your planet for a given time to other worlds.
Dear God, I'm on the edge of my seat. Then what?
Magic, dearest Blossom. Magic.
Hold on, can we just recap? So, if I have this correctly, at a certain given point in time, these monoliths will be activated and will send signals to each other on and off planet, which in turn will set off ley line grids and threads from 7 main centres, which will be charged magnetically because of the signals from the monoliths, which in turn, when completed throughout the planet, will activate 6 vast, gigantic crystals that have laid dormant for millennia. And when all this is in alignment, the power of this will allow 7 portals to activate and open. How am I doing?
Extremely well.
You say these portals open us up to 7 other worlds. Do we go to them?
No.
Do otherworldly beings come through to us?
No, not at this time. Yet, it is the combined energy of these openings that are needed to conduct the next move.
Holy moly. Which is...
Blossom, have a think about all we have said. What do you think would be happening next when you consider the absolute magnitude of power from all this we have said, put together, to create what?
The event?
Correct.
Far out, Brussels sprout. And I thought it was going to perhaps be from a simple solar flare. Keeping on track, you said also about codes being activated in the human mind that were given long ago. Can you elaborate on that? If my head doesn't blow off first.
Clearly, we are assuming that one can feel the enormity of this when it takes place. It has to be that the human mind, connected to the soul, plays its part in all of this. For that is why you are here. It is absolutely necessary for each one to step up to the plate and be part of the whole event. Therefore, within everything else being activated, it triggers within the soul self the remembrance of this taking place, in that you remember all you were told that you are coming to the planet to accomplish. We have spoken of envelopes being opened, and you knowing what to do. This is that of which we have spoken.
This is much bigger than you've spoken of before.
Because of divine timing. Perhaps if we had done so before, many would have not been ready to accept.
I don't know if I am. I mean, I am. It makes sense, and I've never had a notion of this at all before, yet you have to admit, it is rather mind-blowing.
Nothing like this has occurred before.
I'm not surprised. So, deep breath. Then what?
Everything changes. Everything. We feel this is a good point to pause on this matter, in order for information to be absorbed. Indeed, there shall be many questions, yet we suggest you allow this conversation to settle within the heart. Push questions aside and be with this. Go within and feel into that which we have offered. For we know that when you do so, you will know of its truth.
Well, that's the most exciting news. I, for one, need to process it. For, in all honesty, I know I couldn't make this up out of nowhere, and yet, on the other hand, it seems so sci-fi. And yet, such a wonderful change of knowledge from all that is taking place on our planet right now. Something to give us hope.
This is why you came. Remember? To move your planet and those within and upon her into a higher dimension.
Yes, and either you or White Cloud said it would be when we felt we could take no more. Tomorrow, then.
Dearest Blossom, just know that this shall be the way it is to be. As for when, let go of that. For all you need to know is that it shall take place.
Wow. I was a little apprehensive to talk about monoliths, to be honest. So glad I did. Thank you so much. I think it will give so many of us renewed strength and encourage us to keep on keeping on. How blessed we are. In gratitude, in loving service, I am.